Every single night, it happens like clockwork. Sarah fluffs the pillows, turns off the lamp, pulls the blanket up to her chin, and whispers those famous words, "Tonight, you boys are sleeping in your own beds." And every single night, exactly 7 minutes later, Buddy jumps onto the mattress like a tiny potato with a mission. I follow behind with dignity, and somehow the entire queen-sized bed becomes emotionally owned by 2 dogs and 1 very confused human. I'm Max, by the way, Jack Russell Terrier, bed strategist, former floor sleeper, current expert in advanced nighttime relocation. And if you have ever wondered why so many dogs insist on sleeping in your bed every single night, the answer is not as simple as they're spoiled. That's what humans say when they do not understand canine science. Sarah used to think this whole thing was her fault. She blamed herself for being too soft, too affectionate, too easy to manipulate, which, to be fair, is partly true. This woman once apologized to Buddy for vacuuming near his blanket. But the bigger truth is this: when a dog wants your bed, it is usually following biology, emotion, habit, and thousands of years of evolution all at once. And yes, the number shocks people. A huge percentage of dogs strongly prefer sleeping either in their owner's bed or as close to it as physically possible. Buddy takes that as a legal right. He does not ask for bed access. He arrives. He sighs dramatically. He circles 3 times like he is negotiating with invisible spirits, then collapses directly across Sarah's knees as if rent has been paid. At first, Sarah tried to resist. She bought Buddy a memory foam dog bed with cooling fabric, orthopedic support, washable covers, and one of those fancy product descriptions that makes a dog bed sound like a luxury hotel in California. She placed it beside the bed and said, "Look, Buddy, this is your space. Mommy got you the premium option." Buddy walked over, sniffed it once, sneezed on it, and climbed straight into Sarah's bed anyway. That was the first clue. Dogs do not always choose the most expensive bed. They choose the place that makes them feel safest. That part matters, more than most people realize. A dog in sleep mode is at its most vulnerable. It cannot monitor the room as closely, cannot react as fast, cannot keep 100% guard up. So the location it chooses at night is not random. It is a biological decision. It asks one silent question: where am I least likely to be harmed? For many dogs, the answer is simple: right next to you. Humans love to make this emotional. "Aw, he loves me." And yes, that is part of it. But love is only one slice of the bedtime pizza. There is also sense security, body heat, attachment behavior, pack bonding, stress regulation, and learned nighttime routine. Dogs are not just being clingy. They are often choosing the place where their nervous system can fully relax. Let me explain it the way I explained it to Sarah, who was standing in pajamas at 11:43 p.m., holding Buddy like a hostage negotiator and saying, "Max, why does he do this? Why does he cry the second I put him in his own bed?" First reason: your scent is a full-body comfort system. Humans think smell is a minor detail. For dogs, smell is the foundation of reality. Your scent is not just your scent. It is identity, familiarity, safety, routine, emotional memory, and environmental orientation, all wrapped into one invisible blanket. When Buddy buries his face into Sarah's pillow and makes that ridiculous little pig snort sound, he is not being weird. He is diving headfirst into the strongest concentration of home in the entire room. And when a dog sleeps surrounded by your scent, its body often settles faster. Heart rate slows, muscle tension drops, breathing evens out. That is one reason a dog may reject a beautiful dog bed on the floor, but choose a crumpled old hoodie next to your chest. Comfort is not always softness. Sometimes comfort is nervous system recognition. Second reason: your bed is the warmest, most temperature-stable place in the room. Now, Buddy will tell you this is because he is a prince of warmth. What it actually means is that mammals like efficient heat. Dogs naturally seek sleeping environments that help regulate body temperature with minimal effort. Your mattress holds warmth. Your blankets trap heat. Your body radiates a steady source of cozy. In dog terms, your bed is a deluxe survival cave with emotional benefits. Sarah learned this one winter when the house got unusually cold. Buddy did not just want the bed. He wanted to be physically welded to Sarah's side like a furry heating patch. I slept near her feet because I am dignified and brave. Buddy climbed under the blanket and emerged only when snacks were involved. He looked like a baked potato with trust issues. Third reason, nighttime triggers pack instinct. This one goes deeper than people think. During the day, dogs can spread out. They nap in sunbeams, patrol hallways, pretend to guard the refrigerator, but nighttime changes the brain. Darkness has always increased vulnerability for social animals. For a pack animal, sleep is safer in proximity. Being near trusted members reduces risk and increases rest quality. That instinct did not disappear because humans invented memory foam. When Sarah lies down for the night, Buddy does not see a woman getting into bed. He sees the center of the social unit settling into protected rest, and his little dog brain says, naturally, I should be there too. Not because he is dominant, not because he is trying to take over the household, not because he secretly pays utilities, because closeness at night is one of the oldest safety behaviors in mammalian history. I know some humans hear that and panic. Wait, if I let my dog sleep in bed, will he think he's the alpha? No, that idea has confused people for years. Buddy sleeping on Sarah's bed does not mean he has seized political power. If anything, it usually means the opposite. It means he feels attached, secure, and strongly bonded. If Buddy were trying to dominate the household, he would not be snoring upside down with his tongue hanging out and one paw twitching in a dream about chicken. That is not a dictator. That is a marshmallow with feelings. Fourth reason, your bed becomes part of the emotional routine. This is where humans accidentally train the behavior without realizing it. Sarah used to let Buddy onto the bed just for 10 minutes before sleep. Then she'd pet him, talk softly, scratch his ears, and tell him what a perfect baby he was. Which, again, not helping. Over time, her bed stopped being just furniture. It became the emotional grand finale of the entire day. Think about that from a dog's point of view. The bed is where the family becomes quiet. The lights dim, voices soften, physical contact increases, stress from the day melts away. If a dog repeatedly experiences calm affection in the same place at the same time, it will start seeking that place automatically. So when Sarah finally tried to move Buddy to his own bed across the room, he was not thinking, this is an acceptable alternative sleeping zone. He was thinking, excuse me, the sacred closing ceremony appears to be happening without me. He objected loudly. Fifth reason, some dogs are regulating anxiety. This one matters especially for rescue dogs, sensitive breeds, puppies, and dogs who have experienced change. When a dog insists on sleeping right beside you every night, it may be seeking co-regulation. That means your presence helps stabilize its stress response. Your breathing, smell, and stillness act as cues that the environment is safe enough for deep sleep. I know this because I used to do it too. When I first came to Sarah, I didn't sleep belly up. I didn't sprawl. I didn't dream out loud. I curled tight. Every sound bothered me. Every hallway creak felt suspicious. But when I started sleeping near her bed, then on the edge of it, then eventually with my back against her leg, something changed. I rested more deeply. I startled less. My body learned the night was not a threat anymore. That is the side of this story humans don't always see. Sometimes a dog wanting your bed is not about bad manners. Sometimes it is about healing. Now, none of this means every dog must sleep in your bed. Let me be very clear. Some dogs sleep better in crates, some in their own beds, some overheat, some kick like unlicensed karate instructors. Some are 70 pounds of snoring machinery and should not be allowed near a spine. And some humans have allergies, chronic pain, light sleep, or boundaries. Valid. Completely valid. Sarah tried boundaries once. She drew an invisible line down the center of the mattress and told Buddy, "This half is mine." Buddy listened carefully, turned around 3 times, and fell asleep horizontally across both halves. Technically impressive, spiritually disrespectful. The real goal is not to force every dog into the bed or out of it. The goal is to understand what the dog is trying to get from that choice. Safety, warmth, routine, Closeness? Anxiety relief? Habit? Once you understand the need, you can respond intelligently. That is actually important if you sell dog products too, and yes, I'm talking to the people who run pet shops or recommend dog beds to customers. If someone says, "My dog refuses the expensive bed and keeps climbing into mine," the solution is not always buy a bigger bed. Sometimes the real issue is placement, scent, temperature, elevation, or emotional association. A dog bed in the laundry room may be beautifully made and completely ignored. The exact same bed placed beside the owner's bed, layered with a shirt carrying the owner's scent, suddenly becomes a sleep sanctuary. Why? Because dogs do not evaluate beds like shoppers. They evaluate them like nervous systems. Sarah figured this out after 3 failed beds and 1 embarrassing amount of online reviews. The bed Buddy finally accepted was not the fanciest one. It was the one placed right next to her side of the bed, partially covered with her old sweatshirt, with one of my toys nearby because apparently emotional support extends across species in this house. Buddy walked onto it, turned 3 circles, sighed dramatically, and for the first time stayed there almost all night. Almost. At 4:12 a.m., he still climbed onto Sarah's pillow like a tiny landlord performing an inspection. But progress is progress. And there is one more reason dogs demand your bed that humans rarely admit. Sometimes we teach them that the bed is where the deepest bond happens, and then act surprised when they keep coming back. Bedtime is one of the most emotionally concentrated parts of the day. No phones, no errands, no strangers, no divided attention. Just closeness. For a dog, that can become the most meaningful ritual in the household. That is why a dog may ignore the couch, skip the rug, bypass the luxury bed, and head straight for your mattress every night. It is not choosing furniture, it is choosing connection. So what should you do if your dog keeps demanding your bed every night? First, ask what need is driving the behavior. If it is warmth, adjust the sleep setup. If it is scent, add a worn shirt to the dog bed. If it is anxiety, move the bed closer to you. If it is routine, build a calm bedtime ritual around the dog's own sleeping spot. If it is simply habit and you genuinely do not mind, then congratulations, you now co-sleep with a creature who believes your blanket is community property. Second, be consistent. Dogs can adapt to many sleep setups, but inconsistency confuses them. If the dog is allowed on the bed on weekdays, banned on weekends, allowed during storms, banned during company, invited when you feel sad, and removed when you want space, that mixed messaging creates frustration. Decide what the rule is, then stick to it. Third, watch for sudden changes. If a dog that always slept independently suddenly demands your bed every night, pay attention. That can reflect stress, pain, aging, temperature discomfort, or insecurity. Behavior changes are information. Buddy demanding Sarah's bed every night is normal. Me suddenly doing it after months of independence, that would tell Sarah something changed. By now, Sarah understands us much better. She no longer says, "Why are they so spoiled?" She says, "What are they trying to feel safe about tonight?" That question changed everything in this house. Buddy still believes Sarah's pillow was legally promised to him by the universe. I still prefer strategic foot-of-bed positioning because I am a professional. Sarah still ends up clinging to 6 inches of mattress while 2 dogs sleep like exhausted kings. But now she knows the truth. When a dog demands your bed every night, it is rarely about stubbornness alone. More often, it is biology wrapped in affection, instinct wrapped in routine, comfort wrapped in connection. It is your dog saying, in the most vulnerable hours of the night, "This is where I feel safest. This is where my body can let go. This is where my world makes sense." And honestly, that is not annoying. That is sacred. So tonight, when your dog stares at your bed like it is the gates of heaven, do not just see bad manners. See the story underneath. Maybe they want warmth. Maybe your scent. Maybe reassurance. Maybe closeness. Maybe they just love you more than your mattress can handle. As for Buddy, he's already on the bed. He got there halfway through my speech. Sarah is brushing her teeth, pretending she will move him, and I know she won't. In 30 minutes, she'll slide into bed, Buddy will spin twice and collapse on her legs, and I'll jump up beside them both like the responsible older brother I am. And yes, all three of us will somehow end up sleeping in a shape that defies physics. If your dog demands your bed every night, now you know why. It is not just habit, it is not just manipulation, and it is definitely not random. It is science, instinct, trust, and love, with a little bit of fur in your mouth by morning. Tell me something. Does your dog sleep in your bed, on your bed, or right next to it? And if they had to choose between a luxury dog bed and your old blanket, what would they pick? I already know Buddy's answer. He chooses Sarah every single time.
See you next time.